didn't seem to be a very good place to give directions.
And what was your verb? I mean, your occupation.
My occupation was bus driver, and give directions was one of the phrases.
Very clever. Very good. Anybody else? Okay.
The beautiful butterfly danced across the sky.
That's good.
My verb was gymnast.
Oh, gymnast. Gymnast. Anybody else? Okay. This will be the last one.
This staff meeting is so boring, I find myself trying to negotiate with the watch hand on my watch.
And your occupation?
A real estate agent.
Again, just a way to pair different nouns and verbs in some unusual ways. I forgot to mention a couple places where you might be able to find words. I have a couple children's books. One is called Max's Words, and it's about a little boy who collected words. His brother collected coins, the other one collected stamps, and it's just a marvelous tale about his collection. And then another one called The Boy Who Loved Words. Again, somebody else that collected and loved words. And I'll put these back on the demonstration table for you. In your packet of handouts, I give you a poem from Marilyn Crystal called Saying Things, and it's an example of a poem which speaks out not only about giving things a name, but also illustrates the collection of words for their sounds. The poem gives life to things through words, and as it says, it is to speak, is to step out from your skin stunned. So it's just full of wonderful, wonderful nouns, verbs, descriptive words, and that's in your packet that you have of all your handouts. I thought I'd mention these later because you might have, cheated and used them for some of your words. Lights, please. And finally, we have what I call small spaces, big thoughts, postcard journaling. Have you ever gone to an antique shop or store and you look around and they have all these boxes of postcards, and do you ever turn them over to see what the person wrote? Are they these wonderful descriptions, or are they just, oh, wish you were here, or man, did I turn the stove off? Just really mundane things. Well, if you look at a postcard, it's a great opportunity to give a short, succinct description of your feelings or whatever of the place that you have been, and it's just a small space. So for an example, on that postcard, she says, "This is the grandest place I have visited and I was enjoying every minute." Well, that's okay, but why was it grand? What did she do to enjoy that every minute? You have this one from the Canadian Rockies, Lake Louise. And the person says, "This area is spectacular, we've never seen anything like it, and your first impression is wow." And so then I go on to describe what that wow may be. It is the mountains that form a backdrop off the front of the blue-green lake. Everyone is oohing and eyeing, and as you begin to walk around, you can hear small avalanches from the distance. As we were walking, a French horn was beginning to play Amazing Grace, and it was echoing off the mountain. And when you hike to the top, you can see 6 glaciers, and believe it or not, there is a tea room up there. Nothing beats pie at 6,000 feet. I had to get the pie in. But you can see, I told them this was to my parents, and then I gave them some descriptions. I sort of elaborated on what made the place spectacular. Which brings us to homework. You're given a sheet of paper, and it's called Create a Postcard. It looks somewhat like a postcard, and it'll be in your packet of handouts. It's just blank. At the top, it's got a blank space. What I would like you to do is to either put a photo or a drawing or something in here that's a picture. And then in the bottom, I want you to do your description. Send it to your postcard, to a friend. So you're like writing your postcard in the bottom. It'd be nice if it was about Emequon or about whatever other area. Some of you might be more in the Sangamon River area, but whatever area that you're going to be writing about. So again, it looks like this. It should be in your handouts. And that's a postcard for the next time. Does everybody have it? Did everybody find it? It should be in there. It should be in the writing. It's in your notebook, in the writing section.
It's right before the green tab here.
It's like the final. This is my latest, one of my latest journals. It's very small. Again, it's 3 by 5. I will put it there. But you can see I'm starting to improve. I had the beak, double woodcock. I also have then a piece of a pelican. So I am practicing. I just wanted to show you that I am still, doing the thing that I fear. And I'd like to leave you with one other final thought. This is from a friend of mine. Without notes, life is fleeting. Now Michael has one final activity for the writing.
I hope you realize what Sue is doing. She's giving you mechanisms so that there's no such thing as writer's block anymore. And that's all these are. And everything that we do is going to be the same sort of thing. It's just mechanisms and mechanisms and mechanisms that you guys have to put together. Which leads us to the final activity. About 10 years ago, Sue and I were asked of having a retreat for its administrators, provosts, deans. Oh, you know what all the words are, right? And it was going to be out at Allerton Park, and they wanted us to do something that would get them out of their administrative world. So we came up with this activity, and you guys are going to do it as homework, and it's called Treasures in Nature. And it requires nothing more than a paper sack, and you have a handout in here on Treasures in Nature, and this little card, which is in your writing pack. The card has adjectives on it, and the bag is just a paper bag. And we sent them out, and to Allerton Park, we said, you guys will go on a walk, and you will collect things that these words describe. Okay? Not every word, but for instance, luminous. If you see something that's luminous, you collect it and you put it in your bag and you write luminous on the front. Now, if it was something, and the rules were it had to be something that could be collected, I mean, they're not going to put a bird in there or something, something that's loose. Reasonable, or uniform, or ethereal, or yielding. And then you would collect 5 or 10 of those, put them in a bag, write the words, come back, and then you use those words in a little sentence or little paragraph, and you pull out the words as you read it. So you present something back to the group. These are university administrators. We have the vice chancellor for academic affairs, and the only person who didn't show up was the president of the university. He seemed to have something better to do. Well, we're not sure. And one group, there's one in here called Sinuous. Well, they kind of brought a live garter snake. So what I want you to do is to do this in the next 2 weeks. Go on a walk. Simply take these words and find. And what this does, it helps you focus on what you're looking at. And it helps you describe what so it's getting at both sides of the brain here, the reptile side and the other side. Okay, so you'll take this, and you'll come back. And if you see something that you can't put in the bag, like cloud, it's all right to write a little slip of paper or make a little sketch and throw it in your bag. If you look at your handout on Treasures of Nature, the second page of that handout is an example. Looks like this. Of doing this on paper instead of doing it with a bag, but this works. This gets you out. This gets you, and then this just goes in your pocket. So that's one of your homework assignments from Treasures in Nature. Poster card. It's in the writing. Should be in this one with the Post-it and stuff.
The card should be in the book where your career
where your career is.
The bag with the career. And it's a laminated sheet.
So if you want to write one sentence with 10 adjectives in it, have at it. If you want to write a little paragraph, have at it. What we're trying to do is put stuff back that was beaten out of you in rhetoric. If you all took rhetoric, that's way, you know. My first day in rhetoric in junior college, I wrote something like the pink frothy mouth of the rat chewing on a carcass. My instructor said, Mr. Jeffers, that's way too descriptive for 8 o'clock in the morning, the first day of junior college. Don't do it again. Okay? Yeah. So, okay. Questions?
I have one final comment. I forgot
Okay.
to mention this. Most of these activities that we do them. And so I brought an example of, I think, 1 or 2 years worth of my postcard journaling. And so I'm putting that out there. I also have a collection of Robert Michael Pyle. He's a butterfly person, a lepidopterist, founder of the Xerxes Society. 2 years ago, he went to sea on a journey throughout the U.S. as to how many butterflies he could find in a year, sort of like a butterflyer's big year. And he sent back bits and pieces of, he had postcards, papers, anything that people would leave him, and so it was a type of postcard journaling. So it's just, again, it's just not us, it's just not going to be you, and I'm putting that on the back table as well as a demonstration.
So can you just review the first homework assignment with the words?
What?
Your first homework assignment, something about...
You have to find an adjective, word that you don't know the meaning of, and a wish I had said that phrase.
So 2 words and a phrase?
Right, 2 words and a phrase. And you can put those in your working journal,
Right.
working book.
From any kind of anything.
From anywhere.
From anywhere. Okay, it's lunchtime. Back here at 12:45. Ready to work? To begin, a sketch pad or notebook or a camera is a license to explore. It becomes entirely acceptable to stand there for minutes on end staring at a stone. The other thing is, remember we talked about practice. When you are lazy, your photograph, drawing, or writing is lazy. When you hold back, it holds back. When you hesitate, it just stands there staring. Okay? And the last one is the poem, the photograph, or the drawing in the head is always perfect. Resistance begins when you try to convert it into reality. Right? Okay. So keep those things in mind as we progress. Okay. This next portion is about photo journaling. We used to bill it as drawing and journaling. I'm a biologist who photographs. And the reason I'm teaching this part of the class is 1, our instructor wasn't available, but 2, I've gone through the same process that we're going to send you through. Okay? And you can see and Sue's gone through the same process, and we're where we are. I mean, we have a body of work to show you, and I'm sure many of you in here have skills that exceed that. Many of you have skills that don't exceed that. That's not the point. The point is that we need to do it. Okay? To do it. So we're going to talk about sketch journaling and a couple of things. These are a couple of my sketch journals. I'm a photographer. I have 350,000 images. And people come in my office and they go, oh yeah, look at all those photos. You know, when I show them this, they go, wow, did you do that? You know? So this medium is a very, very powerful medium to show people. Okay? Because it's something they're unfamiliar, something lots of people used to do, but it's something people are very unfamiliar with. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you the philosophy of sketch journaling, and then we're going to break it down into component pieces. How do you do it? Okay? And how do you do it? And the only way to do it is to do it, I guess, you know. So here's we're going to talk about sketch here. We're not talking about art. We're not talking about formal pieces. My apology to all of you who have had formal art training. You'll see bits and pieces of it, but we're going a little bit different direction. So, what is sketch journaling? Sketch journaling is creating documents based on your observations. Okay, here's Sue doing one of hers on winter stoneflies along this winter. Here's one of mine on the cache. All it is a collection of techniques that you learned that you then apply. So, you can learn to draw a sketch journal if you can do the following things. Okay? One, can you write your name? We know most of you can't because we got your checks. They were signed, although most of it wasn't, you know, I can't read your signature, but that's okay. So if you have the manual dexterity to write, you have manual dexterity to sketch journal. You can learn a few mechanics that you may or may not already know, you know, some things, some techniques, and we'll show you those. You learn to see like an artist.